رمضان أقبل فالقلوب مريضة
نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم أما بعد وقال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون وقال تعالى ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم. Fasting is not only confined to Ummate Muhammediya. The previous ummats also fasted. In the Shariat of Musa alayhi salam, they fasted the ayah Bid. In the Shariat of Isa alayhi salam, they fasted for a month. There's a slight difference in the fasting, but primarily all their fasting had abstention of food, drink, and one's carnal desires. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us also, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O those that have brought Iman. This is a beautiful address. This is an address that is the Khusoosiat, speciality of Ummate Muhammediya. The other nations were addressed as Ya Ahl al-Kitab, O people of the book. How many places this Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu has come? In some places it comes Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu aminu. Oh, those who have brought Iman, bring Iman. Meaning you have got the outward structure. Now get the reality. And one is such a solace because Allah is acknowledging this Iman that we have. Moulana Ashraf Ali Thanvi rahmatullahi alayhi used to translate it as Ya ayyuhal ashikun, O lovers. Meaning, O my servants, I want to create a love relation with you. But it is important that you engage in certain activities to make this love intense. So, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. So one is this address is a very special address. It is from the speciality of the Ummat. It is Allah, so to say, extending His hands of Wilaayat and friendship to us. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Kutiba alaykum as-siyam. Fasting had been made farz upon you. Look at the address. Allah is not showing His authority here. He could have. Allah could have said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kataballahu alaykum as-siyam. Allah has ordained fasting upon you. Allah has made fasting farz upon you. Allah says, so Allah does not use the active verb. Allah uses the passive verb. Kutiba alaykum as-siyam. Fasting has been made first to give the impression somebody else has made it, whereas in reality Allah has made it. Why? Mufassiroon have written, Allah is keeping our weakness in mind. Allah is keeping our fragile nature in mind. Because we love food. We are food. We don't eat to love. We love to eat. But this abstention from it is very, very beneficial for our spiritual upliftment. Because there are two primary enemies of ours in relation to Allah that becomes a barrier. One is nafs and one is shaitan. And the body is made up of water, sand, fire and air. So therefore this body will always incline itself towards these elements. And that will increase our nafsaniyat and shahwat. And that will always make our nafs and our carnal self dominate us. Whereas the soul is from Allah. What it requires for its nurturing, preservation, increase is the ahkamat of Allah. So the body's requirement is inclination towards things. So Allah is preventing these intake of these things, the earthly things, so that we can get angelic qualities. Because the malaika have no inclination towards this, therefore they have no inclination towards sun also. But Allah knows that we have great inclination towards food. So if Allah says that I've made food haram, then that might become a barrier in this wilayat and this friendship and relationship. That if my Allah is so loving, then why is He depriving me of that which I like? But Allah knows that if you stay away from it, you will form a very, very close bond with Him. So the Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, so to say, Allah is extending His wilayat and friendship towards us. Therefore He has kept us in mind, and He hasn't shown His authority because He didn't want this to become a barrier in forming a very close relation with Him. So Allah says, Kutiba alaykum as-siyam. Where the reality is Allah has made fast for us. Fasting has been ordained upon you. Then Allah, still to keep us in mind, don't think you have been singled out, that only it is you that have to do this difficult activity because you are food. Kama kutiba alal ladina min qablikum. Like how fasting has been made fardh upon the people before you. So from this we understand, fasting is absolutely beneficial in every era, in every ummat, for getting proximity to Allah. So one way to understand this ayat, don't think you have been singled out to do this difficult act. Don't worry, the people before also did this. Like how a father wants the younger son to do something. So he tells me, don't worry, your brothers when they were your age also they used to do it. If they could do it, you can do it. Now you say, they also did it. Okay, I can also pick it up. So Allah is keeping us in mind. The other Mufassiroon have explained. Kutiba alaykum as-siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum. Unlike our fast is not like that of the present day Hindus, etc., that can have fruit and water and juices and other form of liquids, as long as they abstain from certain things. Or what today is very vogue in Europe and the world, intermittent fasting, where they allow you to have certain types of liquids provided it doesn't have sugar in it, it's not any sugary substance. So you can drink. Or what many people do fasting today for their health reasons, water fasting. For 3 days they only have water and nothing else. No. Our fasting is not, it is abstention of certain things from certain time to certain time, which was common to all nations before. So kama kutiba, like the fasting people made. So that shows from Baba Adam alayhi salatu salam's time till now, the fast that the Anbiya brought, primarily what common factor was in all of them, that you have to stay away from food, drink, and fulfilling your sexual desires with your halal spouse. So, kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun, so that you can obtain taqwa. So all this, the maqsad, the primary objective is to get this capital of taqwa. If you did everything else but not get the capital, then you have missed not the boat, the ship. And everybody naturally has fujur, inclination towards and propensity towards evil. Which the Quran says, وَنَفْسِ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا. Allah takes a qasam. Before that He has taken 6 qasams. وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا جَلَّاهَا وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَاهَا وَالسَّمَاءِ وَمَا بَنَاهَا وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا طَحَاهَا. Then Allah takes the 7th qasam. وَنَفْسِ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا. By the oath of the nafs and that which straightens it. And this propensity, inclination towards sin we all have. فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. Everybody has been, within him has been instilled this inclination towards evil and the inclination towards good. And then Allah mentions, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. That person has obtained absolute success who has purified his nafs. وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. That means remove it from its natural inclination, إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ, to an angelic form. And fasting is highly effective for this, because you are making mushabahat and similarity with angels, because they don't eat and drink, and they don't have need for fulfillment of the sexual wants and needs. So by adopting the mannerism of the malaika, angelic qualities will be created. This istidad to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is taqwa. وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. That person who has not straightened, he is at a total lost. So as the Quran Kareem explains, the primary purpose, never to lose the objective of Ramadan. Like for example, if a person opens up a business just for the sake of business, and whatever goods he buy, he sells it at the same price, he'll probably be the busiest person in town. There'll be lines and lines outside his shop. But he'll have to close down eventually, because he's just doing business for the sake of business. The purpose of business is to get profit, so that you can buy your needs and wants, and to progress materially. What's the purpose? The person is the busiest shop in the whole of the town, and there's lines and lines and queues outside. But why? Because whatever price he gets from the wholesale, he sells it to his customers. Then how he's going to pay his staff? How he's going to pay the lights and water? How he's going to pay the rent? How he's going to take money out for himself? So initially he'll be the most busiest person. Eventually he will be bankrupt, because he'll be owing his workers. So there's a purpose for business, to obtain maximum profit. So what's the purpose of Allah's treasury is full. There is no deficiency in Allah's treasury, that if we fast for 1 month, then Allah will be able to replenish His treasury. We, in fact, to be honest, in Ramadan, we eat more than we eat out of Ramadan. So what? We are replenishing Allah's treasury. There is no diminishing in Allah's treasury. Allah is absolute. His treasury is full, is complete, like the that of Allah. The benefit is only ours. By we staying hungry, how does it benefit Allah? Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyam kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. So understand something. Because Allah Ta'ala has put within us فَالْهَمَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. And Allah mentions fujur first. Man's natural inclination is always towards evil. So we understand that गुनाह का तकादा आपके लिए मुदिर नहीं. The requirement towards sin is not harmful. ऊपर उस पर अमल करना मुदिर है. To act upon it is harmful. And you cannot use the word muttaqi for malaika. Why? Because they have no inclination, propensity towards sin in any case. This world, that even wilayat, the word, because wilayat is coupled with taqwa. In awliyahu illa al-muttaqun. In awliyahu illa al-muttaqun. To say Jibreel is a wali is improper. Because Jibreel Amin does not have any inclination towards sin. So understand that naturally we have, because we are a combination of these four instruments that makes up the nafs. And in the nafs al-ammaratun bis-su. So فَأَلْهَمَا فُجُورَهَا, we will have propensity towards evil, towards wrong. But at the same time, we have propensity and inclination towards taqwa. And Allah has mentioned fujur first to show that that is our natural inclination, we'll have to curb it. So what is taqwa? That there is a taqada requirement within oneself towards sin. Then out of Allah's khawf, not to act upon it. And then you might even regret, or you have a remorse, to make sabr on the remorse that you feel for not fulfilling your desire. This is taqwa. In simple terms, imtithalu awamiri wa ijtinab an-nawahi. That such esteem is created that now you can say labbaik to every hukam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and stay away from sin. So this is Ramadan. To obtain this capital, that now for the remaining 11 months, so Ramadan is to service this vehicle of ours, and then to service in such a way that now we can utilize this vehicle in the 11 months according to the desires and wants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you obtain this taqwa, there are tremendous benefits. First of all, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praises us if you can get this capital of taqwa. وَإِن تَصْبِرُوا وَتَتَّقُوا فَإِنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ أَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. Allah says that if you inculcate yourself and you inculcate within yourself this capacity of sabr, and we know sabr in its totality, sabr al-ta'a, sabr anil ma'asiyah, sabr fil musibah. And what does sabr means? Rokna, to restrict oneself. The word taqwa comes from waqiya. So, وَإِن تَصْبِرُوا وَتَتَّقُوا, Allah says, فَإِنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ أَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. It is a very courageous thing. So this month is ideal to get within ourselves courage. This is one our great lack of reaching high levels. We just don't have that courage. So if you get this taqwa which is required, inshallah, in Allah's obedience you will have tremendous courage. وَإِن تَصْبِرُوا وَتَتَّقُوا فَإِنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ أَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. So Allah praises that person that can obtain this capital in Ramadan. They want tremendous benefit of taqwa and sabr, that inshallah your enemies will not be able to harm you in any form. وَإِن تَصْبِرُوا وَتَتَّقُوا لَا يَضُرُّكُمْ كَيْدُهُمْ شَيْئًا. That if you imbibe within yourself this quality of sabr and taqwa, then the plotting and the planning of the enemies will not harm you. La yudurrukum kaydum shay'a. So one second benefit of taqwa, bil hifzi min al a'da. The first benefit, bil madhi wa thana, that Allah Himself, your Khaliq, will praise you when you can obtain the capital of this fasting, just not the outward form. And remember, this capital of taqwa will be obtained not only by just fulfilling the structure of not eating and drinking and fulfilling your carnal desires. This is just the structure. But with that, to control your mind, to control your heart, to control your hands, to control your speech, to control your hearing, every faculty of yours. وَإِن تَصْبِرُوا وَتَتَّقُوا لَا يَضُرُّكُمْ كَيْدُهُمْ شَيْئًا. Inshallah, we'll continue. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka.